Alrighty guys, welcome back. Here we are jumping into our next match. This is of course the third place final that we're heading into tonight between BTI and CT Charlotte Tiger. So we've got 15 seconds left on the clock. The tanks have been picked. We're doing battle here on Himmelsdorf. And with 10 seconds left on the clock, let's go ahead and run through BTI's lineup first. They have got a 110 being driven by Harata, Compy 2000 in his AMX 5100, Reaper Man 92 in the IS3, Nexus LFA in the T32, as is Ricky 48, Nathaniel Tobing in the AMX 1390, and last but not least, Chibi Decade in the T37. Over on the other side though, on Charlotte Tiger, who we have not seen today, they have got Mudam in the AMX 5100, as is Polly and Chino Zacket, Akio V, Hawamina and Lobos Tommy in the IS3s, and the AMX 12T being driven here by Pitt. So let's go ahead and follow Pitt out of the gates here. Looks like he's going to be getting some action happening with that AMX 12T, getting some early scouting happening as well from the looks of things. And what we're seeing here is a fairly standard, maybe a little bit more of a passive defensive lineup coming out of BTI here. Nothing wrong with that, of course. Sometimes we do see the AMX 5100s push up to where Chibi Decade is here, maybe even a little bit further. But we're not going to be seeing it this round. And well, it looks like that was a good guess from the looks of things. Actually, did Chibi not spot anything? No, he did. Okay, so some shots actually going to come in there. 647 damage dealt there to Chibi Decade in the T37, and was not able to respond, but that is some valuable information gathered there for BTI. So right now the rest of them just going to be looking around the place, and again we're seeing that AMX 5100, one of them just sent up on towards the hill, which is a little bit strange, to be honest. It does look like a potential one flag push coming out here, but we'll have to wait and see. Some shots coming across. Reaper Man 92 in the IS3, not able to hit anything just yet. Chibi Decade did drop just then as well. So the first kill of the game goes on towards Charlotte Tiger. Harata taking some shots there as well, but in a nice hold down position. He should be fine for the moment. We've got Reaper Man as well, just looking around the place. Compy 2000 in the AMX 5100 in a pretty good spot up here. Should be able to get some nice shots across down the line once those tanks get spotted. Speaking of spotted though, it looks like Harata might have spotted a couple more. He's not looking in just the right direction just yet, but it seems like CT Charlotte Tiger playing this one nice and cautiously, not rushing in towards a one flag, just doing what they need to at the moment, which is good to see. And it looks like they don't actually have any eyes on the AMX 5100, or one of the AMX 5100s of Compy 2000 there, of BTI. So that could be very handy for BTI to have that hidden AMX 5100. But we are going to be seeing the push coming up now. Coordinated, of course, a 110 there. Going to be getting a shot on towards that AMX 5100. We can see Pitt here getting himself on towards the cap, and Compy 2000 taking a shot there, is out in the open, forced to retreat behind cover, and it's fairly obvious right now where the push is going to be coming on. Let's take a quick flick over though towards the AMX 5100 up on the hill. Oh, and doesn't look. Oh, there we go. Okay, we finally switched over. So we've got Chino Zacket. He's going to be pushing down there, and he's actually picked the right time to push down because, well, as I say that, all of the rest of the heavy tanks from BTI are actually going to be rotating now and seeing if they can get themselves into a bit more stronger defensive positions to attack the flag. As I say that, Hawamina takes down Nathaniel, so that's a tier 8 gone for BTI right there. And flicking across, we've got Polly here on Charlotte Tiger. He's going to be looking across in that AMX 5100. Be seeing what kind of work he can do here as well. There's some shots coming out. Looks like we've got a bit of a battle in the middle here. Ricky 48 in a lot of trouble in the T42. The fire does a little bit of damage as well. He's on 1% HP right there. Is he going to be able to get one more shot off? No, he's not. The AMX 5100 of Chino Zacket takes him down, and Hawamina again finds another one there, taking down Nexus LFA. So it is reading all in favour of Charlotte Tiger here in the first half here on Himmelsdorf. And we can see some shots ricocheting off the IS-3 there. Right now, 2 minutes 13 left. The base cap is happening. We're not seeing any resets, and I don't think we will. They've only got 3 Tier 8 tanks alive over on the BTI side that are slowly getting wiped out here. And a couple more shots. There we go. That's Holly getting a kill. And another one taken down. There we go. The base cap actually gets capped up there as well. Just after 2 minutes. Ticks down on the clock. So that's going to be a win there to Charlotte Tiger. So let's go ahead and update the scoreboard there. There we go. Alrighty, so Charlotte Tiger got to be pretty happy about that one. Okay, so right now we've got, let's take a look at the battle results. So up the top there for BTI, T32 Nexus managed to get the topmost damage, but that was only 905. Hirata there in the 110 barely, didn't even scrape 900 as well. Meanwhile, on the other side, if we look at that, 1k all across the board apart from Mudam. So just a brilliant effort there from Charlotte Tiger, and they did not lose a single tank, which is the really impressive part. Now, of course, we do know that BTI, they are generally weaker on the defense. At least that's what they've shown today. So it'll be interesting to see whether they can bounce back on the attacking side of Himmelsdorf here and try and take it again. That AMX 1390, really not too sure about that pick this game. I mean, it's Himmelsdorf. You really want that heavy armor. You want stuff that can ricochet bullets. You want, you know, heavy tanks that can go up against other heavy tanks. And that's not what the AMX 1390 is. So we'll have to wait and see whether that's what we get in the next picking phase. So let's go ahead and take a look. Alrighty, so we're getting the next picking phase underway already. And let's take a look. Let everyone know that we're ready. So we've got over on BTI side T49 and a T54 lightweight. Hit two lights. Well, they followed up with an IS-3 1390 AMX 5100 there and a T37. So they've actually got a total of 3 light tanks there. They're taking a T49 in to do battle against 3 IS-3s, 3 5100s. I mean, the T49 is going to have to hope that whoever it is can get a flank on one of the 5100s. 5100s, of course, not the strongest armor for a heavy tier 8, but still pretty serviceable. So really, that 49, I've got to say, I'm not feeling it as much. But who knows? Might work out for them. They are, of course, on the attack this time, so should be able to control the flow of the game a little bit more. But I mean, really, going up against 3 IS-3s, 3 AMX 5100s, and the AMX 12T, it is going to be a very tough ask for BTI to pull off this one, I think. So, readies are called. And we're going to be getting this one underway. And seeing whether BTI can draw it out to a third game and a different map, or whether Charlotte Tiger will take this one out in a quick succession in 2 games. So, getting the countdown happening now. Alrighty, let's jump into it. So this time on the BTI side, let's go through have a quick run through of their team. They've got Hirata in the AMX 5100 at Nexus LFA in the IS-3, Reaper Man 92 in the IS-3, Nathaniel Tobing in the AMX 1390, Ricky 48 in the T54 LT. Chibi Decade driving that T49 with a derp cannon. And Compy 2000 in his T37. So 2 seconds left. 1 and 0. There we go.
Time to roll out.
Time to roll out. Following out the BTI guys, seeing what they do. And they're actually sending their 1390 up on the hill. So would have been almost wanted to say that the T49, if any tank should have gone up on the hill just so it can really get that flank happening. But there's a reason these guys are the pro players and not myself. So we'll have to wait and see whether that works out for them. Right now, though, it looks like a strong push towards the one line. But if we take a look over on the Charlotte Tiger side, you can see they've got a pretty strong suspicion as well where BTI might be headed to. And they're going to be setting up there. Some tanks already spotted early on. Some shots coming across. Look at that. T37 already dropped to 42% hit points there. Compy 2000. About 1 shot or so from death. To 281 hit points right there. So one more shot from those IS-3s and Compy is not going to be alive for much longer. We'll be seeing if Minna here going to be trying to poke in his IS-3. Not really going to be working. On the other side though, it looks like we are going to be getting the pushes coming right on in. We can see here the AMX 5100 Polly and his friend doing some work on towards that T54 lightweight. Look at that. Compy runs right into him and pays for it. Followed up by Ricky 48. They're going to be the first two to go down. BTI already losing 2 tanks. Barely over a minute in towards this battle here on Himmelsdorf. And it is looking good for Charlotte Tiger. They're 1 up already. They just need to take this one out. And they win the 3rd place final here in Go4WoT Asia Cup number 6. Some more shots coming out across. Looks like BTI, they've responded. They've taken down Minna there. Chibi Decade in the T49, able to finish off that kill. The big derp cannon there. Lobos Tommy, though, puts another one on the board for Charlotte Tiger, taking down the IS-3 of Reaperman 92. Polly here going to be pushing up. Harata in the AMX 5100 dropped down to 4%, dropped down to 0 by Mudam in the AMX 5100. It is looking good for Charlotte Tiger. Only 3 tanks left on the BTI side. And that may not be for very long at all as BTI right here. They're knocked down. They do manage to take down Mudam, but it might be a case of too little too late. Nathaniel on 33%. They've got Nexus here on 28 and some more shots coming in. As I say that though, Nathaniel actually getting some shots across and suddenly it is a 3v3 of all tier 8s. Oh, and he's been left on 1% hit point. 1% hit points there. Not enough to stay alive though, as we've got Lobos Tommy here again. They do actually have to be careful here. Got a T49 around the place. I mean, they have got the numbers advantage. That shot is going to miss. Could be a pretty important shot. The AMX 1390 is dropped down to 0%. So it's just going to be Chibi Decade left here. Trying to get some shots across. Drop down there to 34% HP. Oh, and tracked at 1%. There we go. And taken out. So all in all, well played to Charlotte Tiger. They gave it a good crack and ended up taking out that one in pretty convincing fashion. Going to be having Lobos Tommy up there on the top of the scoreboard. 2.2k damage. So that is definitely what we like to see. Across the board there as well. Got some pretty respectable damage amount. Nexus managed to get 1.9k, but we're getting the GGs coming out in chat. GGs to everyone. There we go. So guys, that is it for the 3rd place final. Next up, we've got the grand final, so do not go anywhere. Grab a cup of tea, something like that while we get the room set up. And after this, grand final, best team for this week. Stay tuned.